She stood in the rain outside his fortress for 3 hours, blood from her split knuckles mixing with the water at her feet. And when Kim finally opened the door, he didn't see his daughter. He saw a ghost he'd been running from for 16 years. The rain hammered Seoul's Gangnam district like bullets on metal. Kim stood at his penthouse window, a glass of whiskey trembling slightly in his scarred hand. Below, the city lights blurred into rivers of gold and red. He was 43 and looked older, silver threading through his black hair, a knife scar running from his left eye to his jaw, and eyes that had witnessed too many bodies dropped into the Han River. His phone buzzed. Again. The same number he'd ignored 17 times this month. He knew who it was. Kim's second-in-command, Jin, entered without knocking. "Boss, she's downstairs. Tell her to leave. She's been there 3 hours. It's getting uncomfortable. People are watching." Kim's jaw tightened. "Then move her. I don't care where." Jin hesitated. "She's bleeding, Hyung. Her hands—" "I said move her." The glass shattered against the wall. Jin left without another word. Kim poured another drink, but his hand wouldn't stop shaking. 16 years. 16 years since he'd held Monique's lifeless body, bullet holes across her chest because she'd loved him. Because she'd given him a daughter his world would never accept. A daughter he'd looked at once, just once, and saw Monique's eyes staring back. He'd sent money. Always money. Never his presence. But money couldn't teach a girl how to survive what he had made her into. Unwanted, in between, belonging nowhere. 3 floors below, Zara pressed her forehead against the cold glass door. Her braids hung heavy with rain, her leather jacket soaked through. Blood dripped steadily from her knuckles where she'd pounded the buzzer until her skin split open. She was 16 and had her mother's full lips, her father's sharp cheekbones, and a rage that belonged to neither. It was purely her own, forged in foster homes and brutal streets, where being black and Korean made her a target from all sides. This was her 6th attempt, 6 times crawling to a man who shared her DNA but wouldn't claim her name. "Please," she whispered to no one, her breath fogging the glass. "I got nowhere else." A security guard approached, hand on his radio. Zara straightened, wiped blood on her jeans. "You need to go, kid." She laughed, a hollow, broken sound. "Kid? Yeah, that's what I am, right? Just some kid. I'm calling the police if... Tell Kim his daughter says hi." She turned, limping slightly from an injury she'd gotten 3 days ago, running from a gang in Itaewon. No one protected girls who looked like her. Girls who belonged nowhere. She made it 5 steps before her knees buckled. The concrete rushed up to meet her, and the last thing she heard before darkness took her was the security guard shouting into his radio. "We got a situation. The girl collapsed. Boss, she's not moving." Have you ever fought for someone's love who kept pushing you away? Drop a comment below. Would you keep trying, or would you walk away? Kim stood over the hospital bed in his private medical facility, staring down at the girl who'd haunted him for 16 years. Zara's eyes fluttered open, adjusting to the harsh white light. Why then she saw him, her father. Finally. "You came," she whispered, voice cracked and desperate. Kim's face remained stone. "You collapsed outside my building. Bad for business." The hope in her eyes flickered, and he hated himself for putting it there, and for killing it so quickly. She tried to sit up, wincing. The doctor had said malnutrition, dehydration, 3 cracked ribs, and an infected stab wound on her left side. 16 years old and already marked by violence, just like him. "I need a place to stay," Zara said, forcing strength into her voice. "Just a few weeks, then I'm gone." "No. Dad, please, don't." The word cracked like a whip. "Don't call me that. Silence swallowed the room. Zara's jaw trembled, but she bit down hard, refusing to cry. She'd learned years ago tears changed nothing. Why? Her voice was barely audible. Why do you hate me so much? Kim turned toward the window, unable to face those eyes, Monique's eyes. I don't hate you. Then what? What did I do that was so terrible I don't even deserve? Your mother died because of me. His roar shook the room. She died because she loved me, because she had you, because my world doesn't forgive that kind of love? Zara finished, tears finally breaking free. The word you're looking for is love, and yeah, I get it. I'm the mistake that got her killed. Kim's shoulders sagged. For a moment, he looked breakable. I'll be gone by morning, Zara said, turning her face to the wall. Thanks for the stitches. He should have left then. Should have walked away like he had 5 times before. But as he reached the door, she whispered something that stopped him cold. She used to sing to me about you, even at the end. She never stopped loving you. Kim's hand froze on the doorknob. His vision blurred. 3 days, he said without turning around. You stay 3 days, then you're gone. Behind him, Zara closed her eyes, a single tear sliding down her cheek. It wasn't love, but it was a start. The penthouse felt like a museum. Expensive, cold, untouchable. Zara sat on the leather couch, drowning in a borrowed shirt 3 sizes too large, watching Kim pace like a caged animal. Rules, he said, not looking at her. You don't leave this floor. You don't answer the door. You speak to no one about who you are. Ashamed of me already? New record. His eyes flashed dangerously. This world doesn't forgive weakness. You're a liability. I can handle myself. Like you handled that stab wound? He gestured at her bandaged side. Who did it? Zara looked away. Doesn't matter. It matters if they followed you here. They didn't. I made sure. Kim stopped pacing, studying her with an intensity that made her squirm. She'd learned to fight on streets where being mixed made her everyone's enemy. The way she held herself, the alertness in her eyes even now. She'd been surviving a war he'd abandoned her to. How many times have you been hurt? He asked quietly. You keeping count of the times you weren't there? The barb hit its mark. Kim's jaw clenched. I sent money. Every month. You had... money? Zara laughed bitterly. I had 7 foster homes, Dad. 7. Money doesn't stop the beatings. Doesn't stop the names. Doesn't stop grown men from... She stopped abruptly, chest heaving. Kim's hands balled into fists. From what? Nothing. Forget it. Zara, from what? She met his eyes, and the rage there, the pure, unfiltered fury, made her breath catch. For the first time, she saw something flicker beneath his ice. Protective fire. I handled it, she said firmly. That's why I got the stab wound. But I handled it. The silence between them crackled with unspoken violence. Jin knocked, entering with food. He glanced between them, sensing the tension. Boss, the Nakamura situation requires your attention. Kim nodded stiffly. 3 days, he repeated to Zara, then left. Zara stared at the door long after he'd gone, pressing her hand to her wounded side. 3 days, she whispered. And better than nothing. But her heart was screaming, why can't you just love me? The gunshots woke Zara at 2 a.m. She rolled off the couch, instinct taking over, ignoring the pain in her ribs. Voices shouted in Korean, harsh, urgent. Then Kim burst through the door, blood on his white shirt, gun in hand. Get up, now. What's happening? Nakamura's men found this location, were compromised. He grabbed her arm, pulling her toward a hidden panel in the wall. You know how to shoot? Yeah. He shoved a pistol into her hands. Safety's off. Anyone coming through that door who isn't me or Jin, you empty the clip. Understand? Their eyes locked. His hand lingered on her shoulder for half a heartbeat. The first time he'd voluntarily touched her. Then he was gone, the panel sliding shut, leaving her in darkness with a gun and thundering heartbeat. Zara pressed her ear to the wall. More gunshots, shouting, breaking glass. Her finger rested on the trigger, hands surprisingly steady. This is his world, she thought. Violence, blood, death. And somehow I'm not scared. I'm ready. 20 minutes felt like 20 hours. Then the panel opened and Kim stood there, breathing hard, splattered with blood. None of it his. You okay? He asked. She nodded, handing back the gun. You? He studied her face, no tears, no hysteria, just calm alertness. We can't stay here, grab what you need, 30 seconds. I don't have anything. Something flickered across his face. Regret, maybe. They moved through the building's underground garage. Jin had a car waiting. As they drove through Seoul's pre-dawn streets, Zara watched Kim's profile in the darkness. This happened a lot? She asked. Often enough. And you're still alive. Disappointed? She considered that. No, just impressed, I guess. Kim glanced at her, surprised. Mom said you were the scariest man in Seoul. Zara continued softly. But she said it like a compliment. Like being scary meant you could protect what mattered. She paused. Guess she was wrong about that last part. The words hung between them like shrapnel. Kim's knuckles whitened on the steering wheel, but he said nothing. They arrived at a safe house in Gangbuk. Smaller, darker, defensive. 1 bedroom, 1 couch, no escape from each other. 3 days just became longer, Kim said, locking the reinforced door. Until this settles. Zara nodded, exhaustion finally catching up. She curled onto the couch, and within minutes, sleep claimed her. Kim watched her for a long time, his daughter's face peaceful for the first time since she'd appeared bleeding outside his fortress. I don't know how to do this, he thought. I don't know how to be what you need. But the alternative, sending her back out into a world that had already carved her up, suddenly felt impossible. Morning light found them in opposite corners of the safe house, circling each other like wary animals. Zara made instant ramyun, Kim cleaned his guns. The silence was suffocating. Tell me about her, Zara said finally. About Mom. Kim's hand stilled. Why? Because I was 4 when she died. I barely remember her voice. She set down her chopsticks. And you're the only person left who knew her. He resumed cleaning, jaw tight. There's nothing to tell. Bullshit. His eyes snapped up, dangerous. Zara didn't flinch. You loved her enough to break whatever rules your world has? She loved you enough to die for it. That's not nothing to tell. Kim set down the gun with careful precision. When he spoke, his voice was raw. I met her at a hospital. She was a nurse. I'd been shot. A bitter smile. She told me I was an idiot for getting shot in the first place, then saved my life anyway. Despite herself, Zara smiled. Sounds like her. She had this light. This stubborn, reckless light that didn't belong anywhere near my darkness. His hands trembled. I tried to stay away. For 3 months, I tried. But she kept showing up, kept seeing something in me that wasn't there. She saw you, Zara said softly. The real you. The real me got her killed. His voice cracked. She was 8 months pregnant with you. My enemies found out. They came to our apartment and He stopped breathing hard. I came home to find her bleeding out, begging me to save you, not her. You. Tears streamed down Zara's face. What happened? Emergency C-section on our kitchen floor. She died holding my hand, making me promise I'd protect you. He looked at Zara, eyes haunted. And I did, by staying away, by making sure no one could use you against me or me against you. But they still found me, Zara whispered. Foster homes didn't hide me. Being alone didn't protect me. Kim's face shattered. I know. God, I know. She moved to him, kneeling before his chair. So stop. Stop protecting me by leaving. Start protecting me by staying. He reached out with shaking hands, touching her face for the first time since she was a newborn. His daughter, Monique's daughter, their daughter. I don't know how, he whispered. Neither do I, Zara admitted. But maybe we figure it out together. For a long moment, they just existed in that space. Broken man, wounded girl, tentative hope. Then Kim's phone buzzed. Jin's name flashed on the screen. The moment shattered. Have you ever had to choose between protecting someone by staying away or by staying close? What would you do? Let us know in the comments. The next 3 days blurred together in the safe house, a strange cocoon where father and daughter began learning each other. Kim taught her to field strip a pistol. Zara taught him how to make American pancakes. Badly. Your mother tried to teach me once, he said, attempting to flip one. It landed on the floor. I was terrible then, too. Zara laughed, a real laugh that transformed her face. Kim stared, memorizing the sound. You have her smile, he said quietly. Yeah, what else do I have? Her stubborn streak, her terrible taste in music, her ability to see good in irredeemable people. You're not irredeemable. Kim's expression darkened. You don't know what I've done? And you don't know what I've done? Zara met his eyes. I've hurt people too, Dad, to survive. Does that make me irredeemable? The word, Dad, landed softer this time. Less desperate. More natural. He reached across the table, covering her hand with his scarred one. No, it makes you a survivor. Then maybe you are too. That night, Zara woke screaming from a nightmare, hands grabbing her in a foster home, unable to escape. Kim was there instantly, gun drawn, searching for threats. It's okay, she gasped. Just a dream. He lowered the gun, awkward, then slowly sat on the edge of the couch. You want to talk about it? She shook her head, then changed her mind. The stab wound. It was from a foster father who... He tried to... Her voice broke. I grabbed a kitchen knife. I didn't mean to hurt him that bad, but... But he deserved worse, Kim finished, voice deadly calm. What's his name? Kim, no. His name, Zara. She told him. Watched rage transform his face into something terrifying and beautiful. The face of a father who would burn the world for his child. He won't touch anyone again, Kim promised. Ever. That's why I came to you, Zara admitted. Not just for a place to stay. I needed someone who'd actually protect you, he finished. Like I should have been doing all along. She leaned against his shoulder, tentative. He stiffened, then slowly wrapped an arm around her. They stayed like that until dawn, broken people piecing each other back together in the darkness. Jin arrived at the safe house with news that shattered everything. Nakamura knows about the girl, he said grimly. Has photos. He's offering a deal. Hand her over and the war ends. Refuse and he'll kill everyone you've ever cared about. Kim's face went blank. The expression Zara had learned meant he was most dangerous. He's bluffing, Kim said. He has 3 of our men. Send us their fingers with a note. Jin glanced at Zara. The note specifically mentions your black bastard daughter. His words. Zara felt the blood drain from her face. Get out, Kim said to Jin. Hyung. Get out. When they were alone, the silence was deafening. Zara stood, hands shaking. "I'll go," she said. "I'll turn myself in. End this." "Absolutely not." "Kim, he'll kill your people because of me." "I don't care." He grabbed her shoulders. "You think I'd trade you for anything? After I finally—" He stopped, breathing hard. "After you finally what?" Zara demanded. "Finally decided I'm worth keeping? Well, guess what? I'm not worth people dying. You're worth everything." The words exploded from him, raw and desperate. "You're my daughter. You're all I have left of her, all I have left of anything good, and I will not." "Then you're as selfish as I thought," Zara spat, tears streaming. "You keep me close because I remind you of her, not because you actually want me." Kim recoiled like she'd slapped him. "That's not... Isn't it? You look at me and see her. You protect me because of guilt, not love. I'm just a ghost you can't let go." "That's not true." "Then why didn't you come before?" Her voice broke. "Why did it take me bleeding outside your door 6 times? If you really wanted me, why did you wait until I had nowhere else to go?" Kim had no answer. The truth was too complicated, too tangled in trauma and fear and self-hatred. Zara grabbed her jacket. "I'm leaving, turning myself in. At least then your conscience is clear." She made it to the door before Kim's voice stopped her. "I was afraid." She turned. Kim stood in the center of the room, looking smaller than she'd ever seen him. Broken. Human. I was afraid that if I let myself love you, I'd lose you too," he whispered. "Everyone I've ever loved dies. So I convinced myself keeping you away kept you safe, kept me safe from the pain of losing you." He looked at her with eyes full of tears. "But I lost you anyway, didn't I? Lost 16 years of watching you grow, of being your father. Lost everything that mattered because I was too much of a coward to risk my heart." Zara's anger crumbled. "Kim, go if you want," he said quietly. "I won't stop you, but know this, you're not a ghost to me. You're not guilt. You're my daughter, and whether you stay or go, that doesn't change. I love you. I should have said it 16 years ago." The words hung in the air like a bridge between them. But before Zara could respond, the window exploded inward, and armed men poured through. Everything happened in slow motion. Kim shoved Zara behind him, gun already firing. Bodies dropped, glass shattered, blood sprayed. But there were too many. A rifle butt caught Kim in the temple. He went down hard. Zara screamed, launching herself at his attacker with pure fury. No training, just rage and desperation. She clawed at faces, bit, kicked, took a fist to the jaw that split her lip, kept fighting anyway. Then a gun pressed against Kim's head and everything stopped. "Enough," a voice said in Korean, "or I paint the walls with your father's brain." Zara froze, panting, blood dripping from her mouth. The man, Nakamura himself, she realized, smiled coldly. "The little bastard has spirit. I see why you kept her around, Kim." Kim tried to rise, the gun pressed harder. "Don't," Zara said quickly. "Please, don't hurt him." Nakamura laughed. "How sweet. The girl begs for the father who abandoned her." He gestured to his men. "Take her." Hands grabbed Zara. She didn't resist, eyes locked on Kim's face. "I love you too," she said clearly. "For what it's worth?" Kim's expression shattered. "Zara, no." "It's okay," she whispered. "You tried. That's more than anyone else ever did." But as Nakamura's men dragged her toward the door, Zara's hand found the small knife Kim had given her 2 days ago. The one he'd taught her to conceal at her ankle. "Protect what matters," he'd said. "Hesitation kills." She didn't hesitate. In one fluid motion, Zara twisted, drove the blade into the nearest man's thigh, grabbed his gun as he fell, and fired. The world exploded into chaos. Kim moved instantly, using the distraction to disarm his captor. Father and daughter fought back to back. His precision, her fury, both fueled by the desperate need to protect each other. Bodies dropped. Nakamura retreated, shouting orders. Jin burst through the door with reinforcements. When the smoke cleared, Zara stood shaking, gun still raised, Kim's hand on her shoulder steadying her. "You stayed," he said, voice rough with emotion. "You could have run, should have run." Zara lowered the gun, turning to face him. Blood streaked her face, some hers, mostly not. "You're my dad. Where else would I go?" Kim pulled her into his arms, fierce, protective, real. "I'm sorry for everything. For 16 years of being too broken to be what you needed." She buried her face in his chest. "We're both broken. Maybe that's okay." "It's more than okay." He kissed the top of her head. It's a start." 3 months later. The training room echoed with the impact of fists on leather. Zara moved like water and lightning, Kim's precision combined with her street-born instinct. She'd become something extraordinary, a weapon forged from abandonment and refined by love. Kim watched from the doorway, pride warming his chest. "Again," he called. "Your left guard drops when you're tired." Zara adjusted, executed the combination perfectly. "Better? Better?" She stopped, wiping sweat from her face, and grinned, that smile that transformed her, that reminded him daily why he fought to stay alive. In 3 months, everything had changed. Nakamura was dead. The organization was stable. And Kim had a daughter who'd become his right hand, his ultimate weapon, his reason to build something better than the violence that had defined him. Dad," she said, using the word easily now. "Jin says there's a situation in Busan. You want me on it?" "Dad." The word still hit him like a shot of whiskey. Burning, beautiful. "No, it's handled." He approached, pulled her into a quick hug. Casual affection that had become their language. "You have college entrance exams next week." She groaned. "I can shoot a man at 50 meters, but somehow trigonometry is harder." "That's because trigonometry doesn't shoot back." Zara laughed, and Kim captured the sound like treasure. Later, after she'd showered and crashed on the new couch in their fortified apartment, Kim stood at the window looking out at Seoul's lights. Jin joined him, handing over a glass of whiskey. "She's good," Jin observed. "Maybe too good. The men are calling her Kim's shadow. They respect her." "They fear her," Kim corrected. "No, there's a difference." "Does she know about what you're planning?" Kim shook his head. "Not yet. But when the time comes, she'll take over. This organization will be hers, cleaned up, legitimate, a legacy worth having." "You think she'll want it?" Kim glanced back at Zara's sleeping form. "I think she'll want the choice I never gave her before. To decide her own path, with someone who loves her backing whatever she chooses." He moved to the couch, draped a blanket over his daughter's shoulders. She stirred slightly, mumbling in her sleep. "Love you, Dad," she whispered, barely conscious. Kim's throat tightened. "Love you too, sweetheart. Always." He settled into the chair across from her, gun within reach, always protecting but no longer from a distance. Outside, rain began to fall, washing Seoul's streets clean. Somewhere in the city, the enemies plotted, territories shifted, violence waited. But in this moment, in this room, a broken mafia boss and his rejected daughter had found something more powerful than any weapon. They'd found home. This father and daughter found their way back to each other through pain and second chances. Do you believe people can truly change, or are we defined by our worst mistakes? Drop your thoughts below. We read every comment.